because they know if they brought that technology here, it'll be gone.
Game over.
The only car manufacturer in the U.S. that's even competing at that level is actually Tesla.
It's going to be very difficult to tell what is
yeah.
Real from
and
fake.
what's not. How easy would it be to rile up just people here in America? I mean, you could sway an election, right? When that famous girl from Instagram now, who's an AI character, is now in this movie that's all AI.
What if the friendly, smartest, super smart AI that we create turns bad? And once they do, how do we just unplug it? I think the culture is the biggest concern there right now.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 7 of Automation Breakfast. I'm your co-host Keegan.
Sandeep?
Rowe. All right, guys. Obviously, we got the future of work, tech, and the truth. That's what our
Topics for
topics
today. All right.
Nice.
So the first one we're going to get into is the Ford CEO. Actually, I heard this from a friend of mine that Ford's been saying this internally. It's just the CEO came out and said it publicly.
Publicly now.
Publicly. So here we go.
It's the most humbling thing I've ever seen. 70% of all EVs in the world, electric vehicles, are made in China. They have far superior in-vehicle technology.
Yep.
Huawei and Xiaomi are in every car. They have facial
Meaning
recognition.
cell phone technology.
Yes.
Connected to their cell phone system.
Yes, you get in, you don't have to pair your phone. Automatically, your
It
whole
knows.
digital life is mirrored in the car. You have an AI companion that you can talk to chat GBT equivalent in China to your, all the automatic payment is already there. You can buy movie tickets. It has facial recognition, so it knows who's in which seat and which media you like.
Wait, why don't Ford cars have that? Would you need to deal with Apple or?
Yeah, because Google and Apple decided not to go in the car business. And even beyond that, their cost, their quality of their vehicles is far superior to what I see in the West. I mean, we are in a global competition with China, and it's not just EVs. And if we lose this, we do not have a future for it.
Wow.
Interesting.
So, I mean, you see the body language on him while
Yeah.
he's saying that. He's like it's like, you know, like on the racetrack when you try
Tense.
to hold the horse, and you know he want to go on racing. I mean, that's his body language. He's.
I mean, honestly, I know that the U.S. has been pushing back on China for allowing their cars here.
Yeah.
And what he's describing, I mean, we played some of those cars on the show in the past.
Yeah.
This is why, because they know if they brought that technology here, it'll be gone.
Game over because of cost.
Well, it's
Cost,
not
technology.
Well, no, it's not that. That's the cost part of it. It's actually cheaper.
Yeah.
They could sell these cars, those type of technology here for like 30 or 40K. Mm-hmm. It's all built in.
And that'd be a $100,000 car if we made it.
Honestly, the only
We have a
one.
Raptor that's like Ford Raptor. You know, that's over $100,000. So what's in it?
Yeah.
Well,
Technically.
Well, think about it. The only car manufacturer in the U.S. that's even competing at that level is actually Tesla, because of Eli owns all the branches of it. Like he was complaining about
He controls. Yeah.
Google and what was it, Apple?
And everything's interconnected.
Yeah, like he's like, we can't get this in the cars because they don't want to be in the car business. But
And the
with
same
Tesla,
thing with Elon. He says they're not a car company; they're a software company.
Oh yeah.
But he can implement all that technology in the vehicle, which Ford has to kind of partner up with people. But none of these guys really want to partner up.
See,
Yeah.
I think you got to the point there is that where these companies, they need to wake up and smell all the chat GPTs
Smell the
of the
coffee.
world, and you know because like you said, they need to partner up just with the local technology, and they need to open up. They need to change their culture. I think the culture is the biggest concern there right now.
Yeah.
Is the culture of this closed loop.
So
Go ahead.
I'm curious. Do you guys feel or see that, like, for example, Apple's missing an opportunity here to do something big?
So here's my thinking on that. At this point, there are a lot of other emerging technologies. If Ford and so on, they want to really go in this, not to dump on Apple, forget Apple.
I was just going to say that. Bypass them and
Bypass-
partner with ChatGPT.
Just go. There's so much innovation going on right now. I mean, last whole week, I went to almost every single event, and that was just in Michigan.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on. There's so much talent here. There's so much drone technology. And it's just crazy that I think at this point, just bypass Google, bypass Apple. And there are people here who actually have GPS systems without using satellite.
Well, and you also, too, remember, Apple did partner, I think, with Waymo, or they did have a partnership a while back with a few different companies, but I think now they broke some of those, and so they're completely out, it sounds like. But you have these other AI companies that, why wouldn't you partner with them? Like he mentioned, you could just partner with a ChatGPT to kind of tell you, hey, I want to go here, take me there. And it'll talk back to you and say, okay, go this way, go this way.
Yeah, and there was one of the shows I went to and event I went to, there was technology company, and they actually partnered with Apple. Yeah. And what they do is they give you like alerts before the like construction alerts.
Yeah.
And if there's something, you know how you get the alert on the map, but on those their alerts are more real time transmitted alerts from police, from other emergency crews, and so on. So your car will automatically basically start learning and start alerting you.
Yeah.
So
it looks like they're trying, because it looks like they're talking to Volkswagen partner in 2018 to develop a autonomous shuttle using.
Yeah, but we don't see it, right?
Yeah,
it's like a proof is in the pudding right now.
Yeah, that's 2021. I mean, we're 4 years later, Volkswagen 18, right? That was years ago, and now it looks like they've kind of all just gotten completely out of it, which is odd. But
I think every car that comes out of the line right now, the minimum they should have these things integrated in it. I think we've been. I remember how the phones used to be long distance, and you called from Detroit to Lansing. It was a long distance.
Well, you have to call after 9 p.m.
Right.
So you don't get that.
And all of a sudden, there's no long distance all over U.S. Right.
Yeah.
So I think same way, these car makers need to up the game, and how they've been selling those trims. You get this trim, that trim. I think they need to they need to up their trims.
Well, I've also said they need to reduce, right? You need probably a lower base model, a mid tier, and a high tier. Why do you have 10 different classifications of vehicle? That may also help reduce some of that cost.
Well, honestly, the cost of the new cars are crazy here.
It is crazy.
And right now, nobody's buying because it's actually drawing interest. Like I've been watching some of these car shows with these guys talk about people that have, let's say, they bought a $60,000 vehicle, and they want to buy another $60,000 or $80,000 vehicle, but they owe like $30K on it. They just roll it over to the next loan.
Yeah.
So now they're pushing over $100K on the new vehicle.
The cars are regular mid-size SUV is over 80.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's like,
I don't know who can afford these vehicles.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, if what we need to do is put more tech in there, make it more attractive to the in the U.S. buyers, make it more attractive for them, and I think and lose all the 20 trims we have 3 trims.
But like Jim Farley just said, the technology and cost of the vehicles coming out of China right now. The second one or two of those get here in the States, and I can get the same vehicle, say, that $80,000 range for $30,000.
Well, I'm curious. I feel like they should just go with something like a base, like a true base model, not like we're saying base and then they put all this crap in it. Just a regular base model people can buy.
Well, you look at Slate, right? Slate right now, the truck company right down the street from us here, about 15 miles away. That's what they're kind of modeling, right? Is a basic EV pickup truck.
Yeah.
An old looking style like S10 almost, just bare bones, simple, and you customize it, right? if we sell it for 20K, and you can put 10K into it, or you can put nothing into it, right? And that, I think, will get a lot of traction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we just we're not efficient, and I think one of the biggest thing in manufacturing is, and it's pivoting in the smaller tier 1, tier 2 places. It is pivoting where they are not working in silos anymore. Not all of them, but I went to a couple of manufacturing events here, and they were the CEOs of those companies, and they are pivoting. They are welcoming new technology, and they're using it. I mean, I was like this CEO who've been in that industry for, I think she said about 40 years in different sectors.
Yeah.
And she was using ChatGPT and everything else. And so, I mean, just that's the thing, right? Once the upper management understands those, and you have the lower on the floor people, and they may be from a different generation, and they suggest a suggestion.
Well, to get into, I'm going to kind of pivot on you guys, going to bring it on to the next topic, but just to kind of rebut on your ChatGPT thing. I was talking to a couple people the other day that they're more in the AI space. They're really into it. And they were talking about how some companies were like using, they need to learn to make sure that their ChatGPT or AI, whatever they're using, stays in-house. Because some people are using the true ChatGPT out in the field or outside, and they exposed a lot of their, I guess you say, quote-unquote, secrets.
Their IP.
I mean, the cyber, one theme was common to pretty much all the event was the cybersecurity. For we can talk about it more here later, but that
that's
was
going to be a
one
big
common
thing in the
theme.
future. Is
It was a manufacturing
even like he was
cybersecurity.
talking about. Okay, in your car.
Oops. No. Sorry, guys. I can't get this mouse to work. Really? Sorry. So, no, next topic with the, like we were getting into the trades, because obviously we can, all the technology in the world, but we need somebody to put it together.
you still need
Still
someone
need
to
somebody to
build,
put it
build
together.
the factory and automate the equipment. And,
exactly.
And do the labor portion.
Yep. So here's Mike Rowe, right?
Rowe, Mike Rowe, yeah.
Yep. He talks about this.
The big number is 5 and 2. Every year for the last 12 years, for 5 tradesmen who retire and leave the workforce, 2 replace them. That means if everybody at that table goes into the trades, 7, 5, 35 are going to leave.
Wow.
So the reason I talk now with a tad more urgency than I normally do is because I don't like the math. It's what Lincoln called it, a terrible arithmetic. He was talking about Gettysburg and Shiloh. This is another kind of terrible arithmetic. And if that's all there was to it, we'd have our work cut out for us. But that's not all there is to it. At the same time we're contending with this collapsing demographic, we're still looking at the perceptions that break my heart. And this is something that I think we can all work on. Like, I've got 2,200 people who've gone through my foundation. A lot of them are welders. Many of them are making 6 figures or better. Nobody believes it.
All right.
They just don't believe it. The parents don't believe it. The kids don't believe it. I have to introduce them to the people who are prospering and let them tell it in their own words. That's why I stood up and clapped for you guys, not because of your decision to learn a skill that's in demand, but because you're going to be called upon in a couple of years to explain yourselves to a skeptical public. You're going to need to be an example. You're going to need to be great at what you do. You're going to need to evangelize, and you're going to need to make a case for your choice. I hope you make a...
Well, that was in Michigan.
Spot on. Yep.
Oh, that was spot on, because we do need...
You still need your electricians, your pipe fitters. I'm just thinking any automation system, right? Just to get it started, connected, plugged in.
I think those jobs...
Troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, those jobs not going to go away. You're still going to need to put any automation installations, you still need a mechanical.
But to kind of counter Mike's point a little bit, one of the main things I see especially is some of the, he talks about what great benefits and salaries these guys can make. A lot of companies are still trying to pay wages like they were 10, 15 years ago. So getting companies to understand too that, hey, times have changed. You probably still can't get a person anymore for $50 an hour. Unless you're pulling some people maybe from down south. Sometimes you still can. But, it's one of those where companies need to also understand that, that these highly technically skilled individuals aren't really cheap.
Right. And here's the thing, right? To Mike's point where, nowadays, if you say you do a social media and you make 6 figures, and people believe more on that than somebody doing plumbing and making 6 figures. It's like, how can you afford to drive this truck? Oh, because I'm a plumber, because I make 6 figures. Really? What did you do? Like, what in plumbing you do? And it's the point where people don't believe it, but they better start believing it, because soon, something will happen or something breaks, and there's gonna be 6 weeks lead time.
Well, then we're gonna have to start getting skills from out of country.
Even out. Sorry.
Well, no, what I was gonna say was, I remember back in the day when I first started as a co-op in college. It was for Delphi Chassis, and one of the electricians there, he was getting on all the new electricians to start doing some of this work, and he's trying to show them how to do change out the motors, troubleshoot. This is what we do when this breaks down. This is what we do it, how we do it here. So you guys need to learn this tribal knowledge, because what's going to happen is, if you don't fix it, then these guys are going to go outsource it to somebody else.
Yep.
And that's the kind of way we need, at least that's what Mike is alluding to.
Here's my thing, right? Somebody learns a medical, somebody learns any of those professional skills. They universally all over the world are pretty similar, right? But if you can get some certifications here and you can good. When it comes to plumbing, it comes to electrical, if somebody learns some skills in basically, thousands of miles away, some other country, those, the codes and so on are different. So to basically outsource those, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. I mean, some things like that. It just kind of depends on the profession. But I think,
I get the welding part. The welding is welding, right?
Yeah, welding.
You got a good welder, you got a bad welder.
There's still different codes around the world and things like that.
Right.
But I think, like we talked about.
No, there's a lot of codes I learned that in welding, dude.
Oh yeah. And like we talked about, I think on the last episode, especially with this advancement now with AI, you're going to see a lot of people here in the next 10 years, what it sounds like could be sooner, out of work. So now these technical trades jobs, I think you're going to start to see a lot of people who were maybe white collar move over a little bit to the blue collar worker type, and maybe get their hands a little dirty, get hands on with some of these openings, because like you said, there are all of these openings in this industry, and they need people. So I think you're going to see a lot of people kind of flow. It may not be flowing yet or now, but eventually these people got to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if there's open jobs for, hey, maybe I should become a plumber at 50 years old. There's an opportunity, or an electrician at 45. Change my background. And now, shoot, I may even be making more money as a skilled trade person compared to, my old job where I was sitting at a desk and behind a computer all day.
And here's the other thing, right? As you gain more experience in that, as you go towards retiring, you can always, even in the retiring, you can always take on just teaching the next generation.
Yep.
Right. So I think there's these hard skills, these hard skills. I think there's a lot of scope, and
maybe that's a good topic we need to add sometime is the training.
Yeah, I was
talk
kind of
about
thinking
some of these
that,
training places.
Is our
where people
hate to
go.
say it this way, is our education system undervaluing it? As in, are they not like
they're pivoting?
Influencing it? influencing the kids and
like
the
you've
younger
seen with
generation.
First, I think they're definitely pivoting, but maybe
They're
not
pivoting,
fast enough.
Not fast
according to
enough, but
Mike.
they're pivoting. I went to.
And I probably agree with him on a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're maybe not pivoting fast enough. Maybe
They're not
they're
pivoting fast
realizing
enough.
schools may be realizing now. Oh shoot, we need to get our vocational and
Because
technical.
I went
abilities
to a couple of colleges or universities around here, and they had like events for other procurement businesses and so on. So I went to that event, and then there was a learning center that was there, and they were basically. So now they're kind of mixing where using 3D printers and helping the hard skill.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
cool.
can make a part as you need it. So it was a good combination. So they are pivoting, but I think there are more and more like you need to pivot a little more faster speed, and they need to really catch up instead of
Definitely.
jog. They need to start running.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna throw this out there. What do you need? For example, I'm on the electrical side. So you need people who can pull wire, you need people who can pull electricity. All of a sudden now they're going to come up with ways, to, I guess you say, get around it. Might be more wireless technology.
Yeah.
And
Could be.
Could be.
to like, hey, how do we compensate? Because we're going to have a hell of a time trying to find people to pull this wire and do all this work. How do we compensate?
I mean, definitely some of the stuff they're gonna be some, like we went from sawing, cutting with hand with two chainsaws, right? A lot quicker, you get a lot accomplished.
Well,
Same thing. I think they're probably gonna be tools that are gonna be invented to basically standardize some of that wire pulling.
Yep.
Where you have this wire, you use this tool, and it'll just
any electrical panel or box or PLC, HMI, all that stuff. You still need the hands on.
Yep.
Somebody in there
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to
You
build
still do.
it.
You
still do. I mean,
And I don't see AI or any
No.
robot taking that over in the next 10, 20 years. So
Oh, no.
there's some job security in that.
Yeah, but speaking of manufacturing, here's looks like our government is really pushing for drone manufacturing to be brought here to the U.S. I really like this video. So here we go.
You know what? We know why we were put here. We were brought here to rebuild the military, match capabilities to the threats of today. So while our adversaries have produced millions of
I wish I
cheap
got into
drones,
video games more when I was younger.
before us, we were mired in bureaucratic
that's the new world.
red tape. Not anymore. In June, President Trump issued an executive order unleashing American drone dominance
Good.
to bolster our drone industry and arm our
I've been saying this
warfighters, because that's what
forever.
we're all about. So today, I'm rescinding restrictive policies that stifle production, and this will unleash American manufacturing and the ingenuity of our warfighters by doing three key things. First, we're going to bolster the U.S. drone manufacturing base by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American. We'll arm combat
Another
units
good
with a
thing.
variety of low-cost
Yeah,
especially for
American-crafted
military
drones,
equipment.
leveraging our world-leading engineers and AI experts. And third, we're going to train as we expect to fight. Senior officers, well, I'll grab this because it's the memo. Senior officers must overcome bureaucratic risk aversion in budgeting, weaponeering, and training. So here's the memo we're signing today, delivered via drones. Here on the front lawn of the
I wonder
Pentagon,
if that's the actual document.
with some of our great
I hope it
warfighters
is.
flying them.
That's funny.
This is the future. We're in the fight. We're in the fight to win it. I'm never going to back down.
can't imagine the pressure on the person who's flying that.
Yeah, it's good. Good video.
It's a good video. I'm just the pressure flying that close to your section.
I wouldn't want that right by my head. I'm like,
I can't imagine the pressure on that person. But on the other hand,
well, and you see the different technologies of the way the guys in the back were controlling the drones too.
Oh, yeah.
One guy had the goggles
VR.
on, VR headset. Another one had just regular like touchpad. Another guy had like a remote control.
Yeah.
So different technologies used there for and several different types of drones too in that video.
So went to one of the defense events. So this was pretty much the theme of the event, and there was a drone companies. They are making drones in the U.S. There's a few miles from here. They're making parts for drone, and there's a company called Blue Light. They're from Michigan. If you look up, pretty nice, slick-looking drones. So what the DoD and there was quite a few other people were there, generals and so on. Or general, he couldn't show up, but he sent a message because he sent a slide. He got tied up somewhere.
Classified.
Yeah.
I can't tell you where.
I don't know. So you know how World War II, U.S. all manufacturers, they pivoted to make these government.
Yeah. Tanks,
Even
planes.
Tanks, planes.
All the automotive plants.
Bullets,
started,
guns.
Yep.
Everything, right? Under the sun. They would.
Well, and you saw some of that during COVID, right? A lot of the automotive plants even still pivoted again to make PPE protection and things like that.
So but now what government is more focusing on is a smaller companies. So people who are under, like companies under 500, that was a big
business.
Small business. Yeah. So that was a big theme of the event was they're focusing on that, and they wanna unleash basically Michigan be again ranked top.
Yeah, because I mean honestly, here's the thing: did they want to monopolize? Only have 3 or 4 companies in the world doing the work, and that's it. And nobody else is doing anything. They
that was the biggest concern. They were basically, what I got from them was they're just not sticking with dumping all the money into one company.
Like
and
Raytheon,
so there was actually a chart I should have shared with you guys. There was actually a chart where they showed at one point there were these 50 to 100 companies, and that has a biggest government contracts. Right now there's like 4.
Yes.
So what happened is all those got bought out by other companies, and then other
and down to one,
and it went down to
you know what's funny? What you're describing is what happened in the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
There's I don't know if you guys ever been to this. You know how they got the Greenfield Village, which are all the different cars.
Yep.
Ford's made. Mm-hmm. There's another one right around Kalamazoo. And
planes?
No, cars, just straight up cars.
Oh, okay.
And they show all types of cars from years past.
Oh, Gilmore.
Is that what it's called, Gilmore?
Yeah, Gilmore Car Museum.
Yeah, so I went there with a friend, Don, and he was showing me around, like older guy, and showing me everything. And then it was fun because he's really into treasure chest and like refinishing them, and it's a hobby of his.
Yeah.
So we get up to this car. It was like from the 1930s, what you see in the movies. And I was like, man, where are all these these are all car companies? He goes, yeah, this was like, in the 30s. He goes, but all of them got bought out, and now there's only 3.
Yeah.
So that's what you're alluding to. And just a kind of side note, because one of the cars had a treasure chest on the back. I'm like, oh, look, it's your treasure chest. And he goes, well, that's where the name trunk came from.
Yeah.
Trunk. Yeah.
Yeah, because they used to put treasure chests, and then they obviously made it into a trunk now.
Like big suitcases.
So that's where the name came from.
The big chest, suitcase.
Well, and on the drone thing too, if you look at any personalized drones or anything that you're going to find on Amazon, vast majority of those are all Chinese made, right? So I think with this, what they're trying to also
you're definitely right, and because I've been saying this for years, is like when I see they're one of their big companies, I don't want to say their name just because I don't want to give them more credit, is one of the Chinese company, and we using their drones in agriculture.
Yep.
And we were using there, and we still are some places, in agriculture, in law enforcement, in other places. And I'm like, why are we using it? Here is one side we are, calling them basically any other state, basically. On the other side, they're using their
taking
drone.
our information, but we're buying their stuff.
And those drones.
And they could be sending it back pretty easily, as we found.
And
with other technologies
what happened was,
done.
Yeah, what happened was at one instant, these guys, they post a video of just hanging on to the drone and flying over the pond. And guess what? The company from overseas, China, they disabled the drone. So if they can't, because they didn't want that, whatever, they didn't want that showcase in the beginning. So if that happened, how else they can control it?
Yeah.
That's my concern.
And if we're using their drones for military purposes,
or
even if we're selling our drones, right, to say a Ukraine or Israel, wherever we're sending our stuff, they could easily just say nope, shut them down, right?
Yeah. That's where just like at one point, Cybertruck was used in war against Ukraine. Some guy over there, one of their mounted a mini or guns on it, and supposedly Tesla shut it down.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but some of the stuff, like USB chargers for like your phones and whatnot, they're actually like built in like signals that were like kind of malware that will signal back to the mothership and extract all your data and send it away.
Well, that's why a lot of times they say don't put your charger in any public area, especially airports, right?
So even actually at this point, good thing you made that point and reminded me, because I bought one of these chargers from Amazon, right? Yeah. Just a phone charger, and this is for
not Temu or Alibaba.
No, Seaport. It's the same thing. So I bought that, and whenever I plug my phone in there, and it would overheat. So I have concerns. I have concerns with that.
Yeah.
With those chargers, what else is getting
Yeah, why is it running so hard? I mean, you hear stories about gas stations too. A lot of times, you get some of these off the shelf from a gas station, and it's taking all your data.
Oh my God! Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Keep going.
Good.
All good.
Keep going.
So I think it's a security and that was one of the another theme to a lot of these shows was cybersecurity and the security of our supply chain and so on. So one of the instance where we talk about the car prices. So one of the person who was traveled with President Trump to all these Middle Eastern countries when he made this trip in this term. And she was pointing it out that one of the companies in China literally funded to compete with U.S. Industry, one of the industries. They poured in like $300-400 million into that. So government just gave it to just gave it to the industry, said, here's the money, go wreck their industry, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the kind of sport they're getting over there. Their industry is.
From their
You're talking about other countries, or China or...
China is getting that kind of sport.
What I'm alluding to is that it's not just China that's doing that, as in they're subsidizing their, companies within their country to be able to, gain the work in the U.S. They're not the only one is what I'm alluding to.
They're not the only one, but they are heavily investing in
it. Yes.
They're probably one of the most, they're using it as almost like, I will call it like a manufacturing warfare.
Yeah, it is.
They're using it at that point.
It is. Well, guys, we're going to wrap this topic up. We're going to go to the next one. Back to AI. And will AI destroy or revolutionize gaming?
AI is already so
I think movies are in trouble.
Yeah, it's bad.
I've been AI generating fake video games and using VO.
Who isn't? No.
I've been saying this. We're like a couple years out from. I feel bad for Rockstar for making GTA because they spent $2 billion to make GTA 6, some ridiculous amount, and we're a couple years out from being able to just go to an LLM and be like, take the code of GTA and make a new version, and it'll do it. Mm-hmm. So right now, Gemini and I think was it Claude, they can already make like Atari games. They haven't made Mario. A little complicated to make Mario, but they can make Atari games.
Wow.
So I think we're 6 months to a year away from you being able to tell this, make me a two-dimensional platformer where a character punches bricks, and then it'll make you a game just like Mario. It'll have better hitbox detection and controls than most mobile apps. And then we're probably a year or two away from you being able to be like, take the game structure of Baldur's Gate 3 and make an entirely new game with new characters and new story. And it'll just do it.
Will that just destroy the video game market?
Cool.
It'll destroy literally every market because once we get to that point, movies are already gone.
Yeah.
It's harder to make a game than a movie.
Make my own
And
movie.
we're already, I'll say it again,
Yeah.
VO from Gemini can already make high quality video that's insane. It gets it wrong a lot. I guarantee you, internally at
Wait
Google,
another year or two.
they've already had it make movies.
Oh, yeah.
If a consumer
I'm
can
pretty
make,
sure.
was it 4 or 5 8-second videos per day for $20 a month or something, the company itself, with all its they're probably telling it, make me a Spider-Man movie, and it is. And it's probably better. Their version is probably, so here's the thing. The version we get, they've probably had for 2 years because they have to test it to make sure it's not going to do really messed up stuff, like show snuff
He's
film
right
shit.
on that.
What they have probably shows really nasty things, so they don't release it to the public yet. They're still testing it. But I bet you Google has already said make a movie, and then within like 2 days it renders a full 2-hour-long horror film.
You figure within the cost savings that the latest, I think the latest Superman movie, cost a few $100 million to even start and make. I mean, you're talking about making a movie in what, a matter of a day or two for $20.
So, so what I've seen is, how these albums, right? Song albums, whatever. They make those videos. Those are already getting made by AI.
Yeah.
I've seen one.
And you're going to get AI actors that are going to become famous in their AI. Right? If you think about this, there's going to be
they're going to be characters.
You already have
can
it
set
on,
up a character.
You already have it on social media where these girls, are going around on Instagram and then, getting hundreds of thousands of followers and they're not even real.
Well, yeah.
So now what
real.
happens when that famous girl from Instagram now, who's an AI character, is now in this movie that's all AI? You're going to have famous actors and actresses.
Well, the catch is now, technically, we can take a photo of each other, put it in AI, and create a whole movie with our faces. Obviously, I'll be more trimmed up for the
a little more muscular.
Yeah, a little more muscular.
A little more hair.
A little more hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
But with the wig on.
No, with AI,
we can create a movie of
or
of whatever.
Or
So here's the other thing. I'm just a thought came to me, the evil brain.
The trimming me trimmed up.
No, when you said 2 pictures, right? Two pictures, right? So I'm thinking is like, what if there was a point where you see 2 actors or actresses or whoever, you can say, okay, and they're really famous and they're famous because of their looks and their style or whatever, and you can just tell AI to, hey, make one like this one, make one like this one. Well,
honestly, they're kind of doing it already. I mean, you see these videos of like
that's
Trump
what I'm
and Putin hanging out and Biden sitting there with them.
Yeah,
it was like
or there's all the stuff from the Epstein Island that they've made. In another, like you said, another 1-2 years, it's going to be very difficult to tell what is real from fake, what's not.
Even now, like I have some people send me videos like, "Oh, you seen this? You seen this?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's fake. It's fake." And they're like,
"Well,
how
we
you
send
know?"
each other stuff sometimes that you really got to take a look at and say, "Okay,
you got to give it a second look."
Yeah,
you got a second look.
That's what I'm saying. Another year or two, it ain't gonna be like that.
No,
you're gonna be able to.
I think it's just right now.
I think it's
just right now. It's just a matter of how much computing power they can get and what kind of energy consumption they're doing.
Who's going to be the first company to build the first AI game, to build the first AI only movie, right?
I wouldn't say the game.
I think you're going to see it soon.
Sorry, I wouldn't say the company. Who next individual? Because nowadays.
But if they don't reinvent themselves and innovate, somebody else will, and somebody else will overtake them, right?
No, that's what my thoughts are. Like some next individual who figures out how to use least amount of energy and least amount of computing to create a next movie or next video, because that's the biggest basically resources that are being used.
I mean, true. I was just thinking about this, Austin. You could have a podcast that just two
Oh my
AI
God.
characters talking to themselves about
probably are.
our topics that we discuss, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, speaking of everything we're discussing, as in the AI kind of worst case scenarios, whatnot, I think this leads right into what Joe Rogan interview is right here.
Yeah.
All right, we got Joe Rogan video now.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
So this is logical. And the problem is, like I said, when I've talked to Mark Andreessen and many other people, they think this is just fear-mongering. We'll be fine. This is worst case scenario. We'll be fine.
It is worst case scenario, but that's standard in computer science, in cryptography, in complexity, in computability. You're not looking at best case. I'm ready for the best case. Give me utopia.
Yeah.
I'm looking at problems which are likely to happen. And it's not just me saying it. We have Nobel Prize winners, Turing Award winners, all saying this is very dangerous, 20-30% P-doom. This is standard in industry. 30% is what surveys of machine learning experts are giving us right now.
So what is worst case scenario? Like, how could AI eventually lead to the destruction of the human race?
So you can asking me how I would kill everyone.
Sure.
And it's a great question. I can give you standard answers. I would talk about computer viruses, breaking into maybe nuclear facilities, nuclear war. I can talk about synthetic biology, nanotech. But all of it is not interesting when you realize we're talking about superintelligence, a system which is thousands of times smarter than me. It would come up with something completely novel, more optimal, better way, more efficient way of doing it. And I cannot predict it because I'm not that smart.
Jesus.
That's exactly what it is. We're basically setting up an adversarial situation with agents which are like squirrels versus humans. No group of squirrels can figure out how to control us.
Right.
Even if you give them more resources, more acorns, whatever, they're not going to solve that problem. And it's the same for us. And most people think 1 or 2 steps ahead. And it's not enough. It's not enough in chess. It's not enough here. If you think about AGI and then maybe superintelligence, that's not the end of that game. The process continues. You'll get superintelligence creating next level AI. So superintelligence plus plus, 2.0, 3.0, it goes on indefinitely. You have to create a safety mechanism which scales forever, never makes mistakes, and keeps us in decision-making position. So we can undo something if we don't like it.
And it would take superintelligence to create a safety mechanism to control superintelligence.
At that level. And it's a catch-22. If we had friendly AI, we can make another friendly AI. So if like aliens send us one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a lot to unpack
so
there.
here's my thing. What if the friendly, smartest, super smart AI that we create turns bad?
Well, it's from the exact question that we've had from the beginning, right? Whoever controls it, as long as they're trying to, quote unquote, for the good, but the second you want to use this thing for nefarious reasons.
And especially like how we're trying to some of them, because, we've been talking about energy a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies, they're trying to be self-sufficient, right? And with the energy.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. What's the next step? They're gonna try to make these robots self-sufficient with energy, and don't ask me how, but they're gonna eventually get there.
Yeah.
And once they do, how do we just unplug it?
We're getting closer to the Matrix. That's all I know.
That's what I'm saying is how we unplug that at that point.
Yeah, you can't.
Exactly.
Well,
there's no stopping it. Like you said,
there's
always going to be 10 steps ahead of us.
You better know how to grow tomatoes and potatoes in your backyard and know how to live in woods.
Yeah, which unfortunately I think America we're kind of in trouble there.
Getting away from that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But with this always being 2, 3, not even 2, 3 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead, you just we can't comprehend where this thing can go. So if there isn't a way to shut this thing off, and it says, "Hey, I'm trying to protect you," what was it? I robot, right? Oh, I'm trying to do what's best for you and save you. So I locked you in your room so you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous outside.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have these types of scenarios.
And you know, with all the...
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but what's the one that Eli has built, the AI one? Is it Gemini, correct?
The one that's plugs in your brain?
No.
That's
I mean, just like a ChatGPT version.
Oh, that's Gronk.
Gronk.
Or something.
So
Grok.
you heard about Gronk going crazy?
Grok. Yeah, they shut it down or something last week, right?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, they released a new version, and then it went off the rails a little bit, I think.
Yep. The new version, they did an update, and it was like spitting out bad information. And, you know, that's kind of the danger of this. And that's kind of what he's alluding to. Like,
but there's a main power off switch somewhere, apparently. Still, but like you said, once you get to super intelligence, controlling super intelligence.
And here's the other thing, right?
How do you shut that off?
Here's the other thing. This company, you know, or Elon and LLC is in space industry, in all these other industries, and he's planning to put his AI in Teslas.
Yeah,
he said that.
Yep.
And so next thing he want to put that AI in his space.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and if you think about it, those guys right now, when they in SpaceX, if you watch any of the Dragon launches or any of that, they literally don't touch much. And it's not like they're the ones driving the ship. It's, hey, we're doing some functional checkouts, and this thing's basically on autopilot up to the International Space Station.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of, kind of getting back to the last topic of our current topic, worst case scenarios. Here's an example of this from the Joe Rogan show.
You want to hear the scariest AI story I know? DARPA sets up this station at the top of the world, and all of a sudden the information that the technicians are getting is now 1,000 missiles are on their way to Washington, D.C. with 99.9% certainty. The guy panics, but he trusts. He says, wait a minute. He remembered that the night before he saw Khrushchev on TV at the UN, and he says, where's Khrushchev right now? They check. He's in New York City. Why would the Soviets send 1,000 nuclear weapons our way while their own leader is in New York? So someone had the idea to go outside, and lo and behold, what was there? A big full moon. The system was reading the moon moving and misinterpreted it as 1,000 thermonuclear ICBMs, and they didn't launch.
So we came that close to the end of the world.
Wow.
So guess what? Smart humans, we still need you.
Yeah, but also too, you got to remember that was what 30 years ago.
Common sense.
Common sense. Smart humans, don't get discouraged by all this. What are we showing you? We still need you.
But that was again technology 30, 40 years ago. You know, the technology now is way better. So I would assume now we wouldn't hope to God have that situation.
Well, still smart humans. Stay alive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole kind of key to this whole thing when you say worst case scenarios is that we can create these AI generated videos of somebody, mouthing off or missile fire or whatever, and to get this other person to trigger,
riled up, and
or
start a riot,
and
or
he's just doing his job. He's just doing his job because
So just.
Go ahead.
So low tech version of it. Lure back remember you guys remember that Egyptian rising, that when there was a riots and stuff in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
You know how that was triggered?
It was a fake video or something, wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't there a video that?
No, it was a real event, but how it was triggered was one real event. All it was, one fruit seller was harassed by police, and he killed himself or something, and from there, the whole freaking country went into fire.
Yeah.
Because the social medias over there was, I think, Twitter at a time, and maybe one more. I think there was a couple of social medias. Don't quote me on Twitter, but there was other social medias, and they basically, and it just went up, and they sported it. And the whole freaking country.
Well, if you think about it now, right, how easy would it be to rile up just people here in America if China started making fake AI videos of these ICE detentions that people are rioting in front of now? You could easily have a fake video of a lot of different things, again, in the next year or two, scary, that rile up a generation, rile up a group of people, get people involved, want to vote people out. I mean, it's going to...
And people are emotionally charged, right?
Yeah.
They're charged because they're losing their jobs to AI, or they're, especially if somebody got an art degree and they don't have any opportunity. Not telling you guys did anything bad. I'm just saying that's the environment now. But they got a degree that doesn't hold a value at this point, and they are already charged up, and they're looking for outlet, and these videos. So right now, with all this immigration and border tightness, who's losing out most? People who were smuggling stuff, even humans and drugs and so on.
Yeah.
And they have billions and trillions of dollars. And they know how to use computer. They're smart enough.
Yeah.
And guess what? Right now, like all these riots and stuff happening, who think I mean, they definitely push the agendas and so on.
Yep.
And I think it's more and more how we use the technology and how it gets into evil hands, and how they can basically change the course of a country, basically.
And it only takes a short amount of time to do something like that. If you were to do something like that a month or two before our general election, get people riled up, a week before, right? A lot of people vote that week. I mean, you could sway an election, right? You want to talk about true political power.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, internally, they have a lot of agencies, and everybody's already working on this and how to control this. But I'm just saying,
true fake news.
But still, I'm saying is for a general public, how you remember how PBS used to have these public announcements?
Yeah.
I think government basically need to start some kind of public announcements, how certain videos don't get wild up, or maybe they need to create an agency or organization where people trust it, because nowadays people there's certain percentage probably won't trust government either, what they're saying. So I would say and we talked about the ethics, right? Few videos.
Yeah.
So we need some ethical organization that's being trusted by. Doesn't matter what your political views are. Doesn't matter you like red or black, green, whatever colors. Persons. It's just a one trusted organization that need to be basically created, or if there's one, they need to build a credibility.
Could we make an AI one?
Well, yeah.
So the credibility, so people can really trust if they announce something or they say something and they credit something, and that's actually true.
Well, guys, I know we're kind of getting short of time, so I'm going to go to our
last topic.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I know we love this one.
We do?
Well, Sandy does.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Keegan.
This is roboforming. It's a new way of sheet metal manufacturing, and it could totally change the world of manufacturing just by enabling us to do things we could never do before. These two arms are pushing on this piece of metal from each side in order to carefully craft a shape into it. Now, on the surface, this might look slower than stamping out the metal pieces with a giant press. But getting this thing up and running only takes a few days. And the factories that stamp these things out one after another, they take a couple of years to set up. This could allow way more nimble manufacturing and a way faster pathway to manufacturing for small innovators. Also, this allows us to do things that were just never possible before. Things like sheet forming titanium. That's important if you want to build hypersonic aircraft. Literally, they go so fast that the air friction to make things like aluminum melt.
Well, I think the big thing there is, I don't know about the installation time. You're still going to have, say, a 6-month installation time for your robots by the time you order it and program it and all that. And same thing with traditional stamping. You're looking at probably like a year to get that up and running. But the volume is way higher. I think here you could see specialty uses.
That's
for
what
it,
I'm
right?
thinking is like, you're talking about like race cars, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about specialty vehicles.
Or say you get a car and they were just showing a hood there. What if I want to get a specialty hood with my company brand logo on it, right? You could stamp that out. That's cool.
And I see more of this even big threes. They are offering custom cars right off the manufactured custom cars now.
Yeah.
You know.
So basically, every single car now is custom, right? You pick the interior color.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Is
pick the exterior models that you want. You pick, the paint color, the trim lining.
So that's why it's over 100K?
Probably. It kind of goes back to our last conversation. But here, I'm sitting here going, how cool. I could design my own bed of my truck, or say something on the side. I wanted a side panel. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to cost more. But, I think it's cool.
I guess for me, I don't really, when I look at this, I'm like, how should I put this? It's nice for smaller shops. Like when they, and not really for the custom side of it, but just to,
prototype shop.
Yeah, prototype shops. I could build 10 or 20 a week. This is perfect for their type of business.
For sure.
To be able to create the sheet metal, what they need, be able to go fast. And also, let's say, for example, you like an older vehicle, like it's all rusted out. You got to get the old sheet metal.
You can't find it anymore.
You can't find it anymore.
Right? Traditionally, it's 7 years they have to wait and hold so many. But if they run out,
how do you get the old design that you want?
Yeah.
This is a perfect way of doing it. So that for me, I look at from
or the
that
customizing cars, like Sandeep mentioned. Right? Say I have a truck I want to trick out, or a car I want to modify.
Like some of these NASCARs, or you want to call it, or even at that point you're building maybe 10 of those, right? Or 20
like I got buddies that race cars all the time. They would be highly interested in this kind of cool stuff.
And they blow, and they wreck them quite a bit, and even on drag races, right?
Yep.
So they wreck them quite a bit. So building those kind of items with this, I mean, I can see that, but it's as far you say mass production.
This is not mass production.
Him trying to sell that as a other opportunity, I don't think any of us were buying.
This is but I think it's great for people who are trying to, I guess you say, keep the vehicle that they have, or want to restore.
You got in a car crash and your doors dented out, and they can't fix it.
Aftermarket parts, basically.
Yeah, and you don't. Well, it's hard to find, certain parts that you're looking for. And if you have this right down the street, well, shoot, I'll just have this guy, make me the metal.
So, I mean, I visited one of the companies, and they're, and this is what they do. They do this stamping. And they basically build, I don't want to call it, basically OEM parts, but if you, aftermarket. But it's not something you can buy. You still have to go through the dealership, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
The only thing is, too, how do you get that part out? Once I form it, they got to cut that out in the right shape, right? Or you laser cut that out.
Probably use a robot laser cut it out.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. There's still even another process here. Once I get my shape,
So I'm curious. I'm going to throw this scenario out at you guys. So could this method of tech, how to use robots, be another competition in the U.S. market? Meaning, so right now, just look at it this way. So now we got all these cars that are 100K. These guys build cars for 20 or 30,000. Even restoring old ones and be able to sell at that price point. That's something that somebody could create and do it, and be able to do a low volume, but. And here's the catch. It's kind of like, you remember that guy who had that lighter and was talking about, this lighter from China's 25. You could create that as in, you start small, get a flow, and then as you're drawing revenue, then you scale up, you scale up, you scale up.
I mean, this could be a good way to start for a new company. As they start, they build their first 10, 20 to 50 cars.
Yep.
This would be a good way to start
if that. You're doing that a month.
I think this will help innovate and more startups. That is great.
Yeah.
And plus, remember the museum that you visited, and the car museum, Gilmore.
Oh yeah.
Gilmore. So parts for those antique cars, right?
Oh yeah.
You
That's
know,
another great.
As long as you can find a CAD design somewhere.
I can't find my Model T.
Whatever part, right? And
Yeah.
you find a CAD design
You could
somewhere.
find something that-
and
make it. Yeah,
you
yeah.
just put a program on this,
Restoration
and you
for
can,
sure. Good idea.
you can build that. So there's definitely an application, but just because in the U.S. we think about the startup things, and then we think about, okay, how are we going to provide to those $365 million or 365 million people? How are we going to produce this for them, right?
Yep.
So
Well, and it could be different, like for aerospace, right, where you're only making 2 planes a month.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
you know,
I mean, there's
a lower
applications.
volume applications.
There's definitely application, but
or start making private planes for everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
Why not?
Yeah. Or fixing them.
True.
So, yeah.
True. No.
All right.
Yeah, that's my last topic, guys. So go ahead,
it.
Keegan.
Okay, so if you enjoyed today's conversation, please don't forget to give us a like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. And join us here next time on Automation Breakfast.